always thought betrayal came with warning signs. A look, a whisper, a gut feeling. But sometimes, it comes when you're asleep, hooked up to machines, fighting for your life. And when you wake up, everything you knew has already been taken from you. The last thing I remember clearly was the laughter, the final dress fitting, Mom's proud tears, Ben's arms around me, my sister Emma giggling behind the camera telling me I looked like a dream. That was 2 weeks before the wedding. That was the last normal memory I ever had. Everything was ready. The guest list, the garden venue, the vows we wrote ourselves. Ben and I had been together for 6 years. We met in college, a cliché love story. Me spilling coffee on him at a campus cafe, him offering to buy me another. From that moment, we were inseparable. He called me his calm. I called him my forever. And Emma, she was my best friend before she was my sister. Only a year younger, she'd been with me through every heartbreak, every success. She knew everything about me, and she knew how much I loved Ben. The accident happened 5 days before the wedding. A truck ran a red light, hit my car on the driver's side. The doctor said it was a miracle I survived. I suffered a traumatic brain injury, fractured ribs, internal bleeding. I was in a coma for 16 days. They said Emma never left my side, that she held my hand, played my favorite songs, even whispered memories into my ear. But when I woke up, the room felt cold, empty, like something had shifted. I opened my eyes to fluorescent lights, machines I didn't recognize, and my mother sobbing softly in the corner. Emma wasn't there. Ben wasn't there. Recovery was slow. Every breath hurt. Every step felt like climbing a mountain barefoot. But the hardest part wasn't physical. It was the silence, the lack of visitors. No texts, no flowers from Ben, no tearful hugs from Emma, just silence. 3 weeks later, I asked, "Where's Ben? Where's Emma?" My mother looked away, and my heart sank. Something was wrong. I could feel it in my bones. "Sweetheart, there's something you should know." She paused, took a breath that shook her whole body. The wedding still happened. My world tilted. "What?" I whispered. "What do you mean the wedding still happened?" She looked at me with eyes full of pity. "Emma and Ben, they got married on your wedding day." I thought I misheard, that maybe the brain injury had scrambled my hearing, but no. The world had moved on, without me, and they hadn't just moved on. They had taken my life and made it their own. The room spun, my chest tightened, I couldn't breathe. Emma, my sister, the girl I braided hair with, the girl who knew all my secrets, married my fiancé. While I lay unconscious and no one stopped them, not my parents, not his family, no one. "We didn't know if you were going to wake up," she said. "They said it was what Ben needed to cope, that you'd want him to be happy." Happy? Was I a placeholder, a backup plan? Was I really so easy to erase? I wept like I never had before, not even when I was told I might not walk again. This pain went deeper, because it wasn't just my heart that broke, it was trust, it was everything. I gave them my love, they gave me betrayal. And now, I was supposed to just move on, pretend like none of it had happened. But I wasn't going to stay silent, not anymore. Not when they turned my tragedy into their fairy tale. Days passed, but time felt like it stood still, because I was stuck in a world I didn't recognize, in a body that felt broken, and a life that no longer belonged to me. I was supposed to be a bride. Now I was, what? A guest in my own story? I typed Ben's name into the search bar, then Emma's. There they were, a photo, a headline. Whirlwind wedding. Local couple ties the knot in garden ceremony. And the date was mine. Our date, our wedding day. I felt like I couldn't breathe. It was my dress, the one I chose, the one I dreamed of since I was 15. And she wore it like it was hers, like I had never existed. They looked happy. Not guilty, not conflicted, happy. No one was holding back tears, no one wore black, no mention of me, no empty seat left in my honor. I had been erased. Nurse, you okay, sweetheart? I nodded, because how do you explain that your entire life collapsed? In your sleep. He looked older, grayer. His eyes avoided mine. Why, Dad? Why didn't you stop them? He sat down slowly, like the weight of my question was too much. Dad, Emma said she was doing it for you. That Ben needed someone. That if you woke up, you'd understand. Understand? What was there to understand? That they buried me before I was gone. That they danced in my dress while machines kept me alive. We weren't just sisters, we were soul-tied. We pinky promised at 10 years old to never let a boy come between us. She didn't just break that promise. She destroyed it, burned it, buried the ashes, and Ben, he was supposed to love me. He promised me forever. To Emma, I don't know when you stopped seeing me as your sister, or when you decided my life was something you could step into. But I remember every time I stood up for you, every time I defended you. You were my heart, and you carved it out with a smile. I was going to see them face to face. I needed answers, closure, something to hold on to. The hallway smelled like lavender and dust, but the warmth was gone. I heard laughter from the kitchen. Her laughter. Emma. Lily. For a moment, just a moment, there was guilt in her eyes, but it disappeared, quickly replaced by fake concern. Emma, you're awake. We didn't know when you married my fiancé. He looked afraid. Good. Ben. Lily, please, we thought you weren't going to... Lily, finish that sentence. Ben, swallowing. Wake up. There it was, the truth. They grieved me before I was gone, then celebrated my absence. Emma, you don't understand. I never meant to hurt you. Lily, but you did. You both did. Lily, you took everything from me, but I'm still here, and I won't let you rewrite my story. My legs were shaking, my heart was pounding, but for the first time since I woke up, I felt strong. They stole my wedding, my love, my sisterhood, but they couldn't steal my voice, and now I was going to use it. The wind cut through my coat, but I didn't feel cold. Not in the way people mean when they shiver. This cold was inside, settled deep in the ribs, like a silence after a scream that never made it out. I had walked into that house thinking maybe I could understand. Maybe I'd find some piece of my sister still there. Some trace of Ben's love that hadn't decayed. But they were gone. Not physically, but everything we ever shared was dead. Ashamed. Why didn't you stop them? Mother whispering. I didn't know how. I was scared. Emma said she was helping. Ben said he couldn't live without someone. She trailed off, tears falling into her tea. Helping. By stepping into my dress, by signing my name on her wedding invitation. The nurse told me Emma read to me every night, that she stroked my hair, that she cried. Was that guilt or just performance? Was she saying goodbye so she could take my place with a clean conscience? We were once 3 pieces of the same story. Now the pages felt like lies. I wondered, was I the only one who thought it was real? That love was sacred? That family meant something. A formal envelope, cream-colored, elegant, embossed in gold lettering. Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin Carter invite you to their belated honeymoon party. My fingers trembled. They wanted me to celebrate with them, to show up, smile, toast to their betrayal. It was like they wanted to bury me again, this time while I was watching, but I didn't burn it. I didn't tear it because part of me needed it. A reminder that none of this was a dream, that I wasn't crazy, that they did this to me. Pain changes you. So does betrayal. But survival, that gives you something else. Clarity, fire, purpose. They took everything, so I decided I'd take back myself, scars like hers. Their stories became mirrors, their strength contagious. In their eyes, I saw myself, not the girl who got left behind, but the woman who refused to disappear. Emma. Lily, can we talk? The director looked at me, unsure. I nodded. I wanted to see her, not for closure, but to see if there was anything left. Emma wrung her hands. Emma, I messed up. I know that. But I need you to understand. I didn't do it out of hate. I was scared. I thought you might never wake up. Ben. He leaned on me. And you thought what? That it gave you permission? I loved him too for years. I just never said it. And when you were lying there, and he was broken, I thought maybe it was a sign. A sign. As if my suffering was their green light to fall in love on the bones of what they broke. You didn't just take him, Emma. You took my choice, my future. You watched the light leave my life and called it love, Lily. I didn't die, and you don't get to pretend like this was fate. Emma cried, but I didn't comfort her. I had cried enough for the both of us. That was the last time I saw her. Lily, people will tell you to forgive, to forget. But you don't owe anyone your peace. You earn it by facing the pain and choosing yourself anyway. They broke me, but I wasn't shattered. I was reshaped, and I wasn't done yet. They said I was lucky to survive. They never mentioned how many deaths I'd lived through while surviving. The death of trust, the death of love, the death of everything I believed about family. But some truths don't stay buried forever. Sometimes they claw their way to the surface when you least expect them. Caller, is this Lily Carter? Lily, yes, who is this? Caller, my name is Amanda. I was Ben's nurse during his physical therapy. I thought you should know something. It's been bothering me for a long time. Amanda, I know I shouldn't get involved, but I saw what happened to you. And I saw what Ben and your sister did. I thought it was wrong. But it wasn't just the wedding, Lily. It started while you were still in the coma. He told me things. He said Emma was the one he always loved, that your accident made it easier to finally be with her. So it wasn't just a moment of weakness or grief or confusion, it was planned. Just not by me. Amanda reaches into the folder and pulls out papers, bank statements, medical forms. Amanda, I don't know if this means anything to you, but these are copies of authorizations from the hospital. My signature. But I never signed these. Permission for Emma to handle my decisions, access to my bank account, my belongings. While I was unconscious, my sister became me, legally, financially, emotionally, and no one stopped her. Amanda, I think she pressured the staff, said it was what you wanted, that she was your power of attorney, even had Ben to back her up. Lily, why are you telling me this now? Amanda, because I see you trying to live, and I couldn't let them keep pretending they're innocent. I wasn't looking for revenge, but I was done playing the ghost in someone else's life. Emma opens the door, startled. Emma. Lily? Lily, save it, I'm not here to talk. These? They're fraud, and if I wanted to, I could press charges, but I won't, not for me. Emma. Then, for what? Lily. For the girl I was, the one who trusted you. For the woman I am now, who doesn't need to burn everything down to prove she survived. You may have taken my place at the wedding, but you'll never have the life I was building, because you didn't earn it. I lost a wedding. I lost a man, I lost a sister, but I found something else, something stronger, myself. Lily. I spent so long thinking I had to forgive to be free, but some people don't deserve forgiveness. They deserve distance, and we deserve peace. Letting go isn't weakness, it's choosing not to carry what others forced into your hands. And I was done carrying their guilt. They say healing isn't a destination, but a journey. But what they don't tell you is that the journey doesn't always take you back to who you were. Sometimes it leads you to someone entirely new. I wasn't the same woman who fell in love with Ben, or the one who trusted her sister with her deepest secrets. That woman died in a hospital bed, but in her place, I survived. The room was filled with quiet nods and understanding eyes. No judgment, no masks, just stories, truth, courage. I thought I had to rebuild what I lost, but I realized I'm building something better. Journalist. Why share your story now, Lily? Because someone else might need to hear it, to know they're not crazy. To know survival isn't just possible, it's powerful. I didn't speak to Ben again, not after that last letter. Ben, Lily, I know I don't deserve forgiveness. What I did to you, and it haunts me. I thought I was choosing love, but now I see I chose fear. Fear of losing something instead of fighting to protect it. Guilt is his to carry, not mine. A friend from the support group had introduced us. He'd lost someone too. Not through betrayal, but through illness. Grief connected us, but hope kept us talking. Daniel, you don't have to say yes, but I'd like to see you again. Lily, I'm still learning how to breathe again. Daniel, then we'll go slow, one breath at a time. He wasn't trying to fix me, just walked beside me. And that made all the difference. We were just girls then, running barefoot through grass, making promises with scraped knees and pinky fingers. I don't hate her, not anymore, but I won't ever let her back in. Some doors are better left closed. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. Sometimes it's just choosing not to let someone's shadow block your light. This was mine, not borrowed, not stolen. Mine. Pain didn't define me, it taught me, and it gave me a purpose. They said I wouldn't walk again, I ran. They said I'd never trust again. I built a community. They said I was gone, but here I am. Daniel, want to keep going? Lily, yes, but not back. My sister took my place at the wedding, but she didn't take me. I came back, piece by piece, scar by scar, and what I found wasn't just survival, it was strength, and it was beautiful. Sometimes the people you lose make room for the person you were meant to become.